So I definitely think that there are going to be people. I think that Amazon eventually is going to have to be like, these are 100% human written, these are AI slash human, these are just AI. I really think it's going to end up like having to be divided that way, and then all your subgenres and categories. I think it's going to be end up being a filter on Amazon eventually. Just with I don't know. I just think that's where it's going to go. But yeah, I always try like today, like I had a thing I was like trying, and I was like, oh, I was trying to find some cool videos because my kids are making board games in history using the 5 characteristics of a civilization. And AI was like, oh yeah, these are great videos. I was like, oh, okay. These seem cooler than the ones I was going to use as examples. And I go to look them up and they're not even videos. like like AI thought I would like I'm like ChatGPT thought I was going to create the videos. I'm like, no, I was looking for current ones, and so I went back to like my old ones, like that I've used quite a bit as like a DM or something like that for D&D or Forgotten Realms, and because we're trying to show like different religions, gods, iconography, things like that, that they can incorporate into their own civilization. But it was just like I just pointed out to him, I was like, I use ChatGPT, and that was my fault because it didn't actually like give me the information I needed. That was all I needed, was like, you know, like good videos to to like help to broaden their horizons for games or board games, video games, stuff like that. And yeah, I had no idea what I was talking about, so I could have just done the work myself. So I told him, I was like, that's the catch-22, I think, when it comes to that kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's really hard, like you said, like I like the human aspect personally, especially with art or with books or even something like that. So I think that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like I use AI as a tool, right? Like I use
Exactly.
it to do research on things that I don't want to spend the time doing research on, and it can compile the data a lot faster than I can.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the creative output, I don't think it does as good a job. And I think you have to, that's the human element. And it's I don't know if you've heard the term, but the artisan age, which I think is what Kickstarter really appeals to, are these people who want to do things maybe in a more traditional way, or in a more handmade way, or in a more human way, if you want to use, that kind of language around it. And reach customers on a more direct basis, where you're actually building a community, where you're actually building connections, and people are investing in you as a person, as a creator, not just wanting to read the book. Because if they just wanted to read the book, they could get it on Amazon, and maybe in a few months, but they could just do that, right? They don't have to invest in you as a creator and buy your, fancy hardcover editions or whatever, unless they really believe in the product and your creative, insight and spark and all of that. So, I think that's where it's going to go. It's like, we all have that. If you want to be a creator, there will be ways to continue to do well as a creator. You just have to figure out what that looks like for you.
Yeah. I think it makes total sense. I was trying to explain to my friend, I was like, he goes, well, there's no one who wants to read my book. I'm like, there are 7.3 billion people in the world. I was like, you may have
Somebody
to
does.
Yeah, I'm like, I had a friend who he did okay, right? But then somebody was like, oh, we want to like do German translation. And he was like, he was dark fantasy. He was like, okay, I've seen some people do well. And then boom, I mean, he was like just killing it there. And then that like allowed him to, have some money to do some other things. He reinvested into different covers, different that, and then did other translations. And yeah, like 3 of his books like took off. So yeah, I was like, you might just need a different language. You just never know. So it was really interesting. So, but I definitely think that the people are out there. We got to find them. It's really difficult. But I like Kickstarter because it knows me, right? So it knows I like comics, knows I like books, it knows what type. So it'll, I love Concrete Comics, and they're so cool, and Acolyte's a great character for them. So I backed one of theirs over the summer, and as like a birthday present, but they sent me like a different one from a different company, same style art that I like, similar characters, but it was so cool that Kickstarter did that. I was like, sold. But it knew me, right? So yeah, I love Kickstarter for that, because it'll send me like similar ones, and it sends me similar genre books too that I like or I back. So I think it's really, really helpful.